Hello, 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 welcome back ladies and gents to the SimZone. We're here for the first round of the IMB Racewear GT3 Championship, and I believe we are very early in the morning here, 7 AM at Circuit of the Americas. You can see the sun quite low at the moment, so it will be in some of the eyes of the drivers when they're going around here for some of the corners. But we've got, I believe, 29-30 cars out on grid at the moment, with Adam currently on provisional pole here. He's put in a 205.3 as Adam, and he's in the new Porsche here. The new Porsche, much quicker on the straights, but it's pretty much Ferrari fest here in this championship. You can see how many Ferraris there are, and that new 296, I think, definitely needs a nerf for changing BOP. Definitely does. And we don't run custom BOP here in our championships. We may do in the future. We may do in the future, but for now we don't run any custom BOP. So it is we are using Kunos's BOP then. But looks like Adam well ahead of the rest of the field at the moment on 205.3. Demarchi currently P2, 1.4 seconds off, so he's in a 206.712. I'm not going to pronounce. Wait, actually, we can try. Is the Z silent? Or is the V silent? Vozdetsky? Let's stay. Okay. We're going to have to figure that one out for next round, I think. But Vozdetsky, yeah, let's just say Vozdetsky is currently P3, also in the Ferrari. You can see how many Ferraris there are on the grid. P5 to P9, all Ferraris, and we've got P13 to P17, another bunch of Ferraris as well. And yeah, they do seem to be a very popular car, and I believe pretty much the quickest, or one of the quickest now on ACC at the moment. The Mercedes, like we saw yesterday, has been brought back up towards the top end of the field. The McLaren doesn't seem to be as quick as it was in a 1.8 or 1.7, but Demarchi currently still up there. I mean, not close to Adam at the moment, but he is still up there, 1.5 seconds off. And I think Adam, well, if no one can get close to him in this qualifying session, I think he might be able to run away with the championship in this one. Of course, if he does attend the majority of the rounds, there is a drop round in this championship as well. But yeah, he seems to be well above the rest of the field at the moment. Let's go on board with the McLaren here. You see, a bit of oversteer. Demarchi was a few tenths up. I think he must have lost. Yep, he's definitely lost that time now. Ever since that bit of oversteer. You can see the cars do handle the curbs much better now. You still can't really take too much of those sausage curbs. I think he's pulling over, so it wasn't the best on board there, but he's going to return to the pits. Vozdetsky is still P3. He's got some traffic in front of him, but I believe he's on an outlap here, so he won't be putting in a good lap just yet. We've got Hammerbo currently in P6, 6 tenths up on this lap. We've got quite a few Hex drivers in here, actually. Apparently 7 Hex drivers from their team racing in this championship. Hammerbo still on the lap at the moment. He is in Sector 3, coming up towards the end of this lap, and he is almost a second up now as he comes up towards the penultimate corner, and a short little straight up towards the final corner. Now COTA, not a track that many sim racers like, or at least from what I've heard. His track limits here can be brutal, but Hammerbow 1.1 second up, and there we go, crosses the line, puts it into P2 within a second of Adam there, but he's back out on track now, and looking to maybe improve, and looks like Domenico, I've definitely said that wrong, but has improved, put it up to P4, so on the second row provisionally. And now we've got the Ferrari drivers separated into threes. So 4 to 6th Ferraris, 8 to 10th Ferraris. Oh no, Topper and P13 has ruined the trend. It would have been, oh actually, 14th to 16th Ferraris. So no, he hasn't ruined the trend. Yeah, I'm sure any Ferrari supporters are going to be loving this at the moment. Let's have a quick read of the comments as well. We've got Paul Mitch. Good to see you. We've got Lapria, Kenny, Cascanova again. Pete, good to see you as well, showing his support for John Jig. A lot of people saying good luck everyone not in a Ferrari. Paul saying, I thought it was limited to a specific number of entries per manufacturer. No, we don't do that on PC. We've actually scrapped that for console as well. I'm sure if Ferrari gets BOP'd mid-season, a lot of these drivers aren't really going to be happy. But yeah, we don't really run that manufacturer limit anymore. I think for next season we may do a success ballast. So the more popular a car is, the more ballast it will receive, which can actually help with this sort of thing. We can also do that in console as well, but we'll have to test it out, of course. And our next season will be after summer. So a long way to go, and plenty of time and testing to be done. Doctor currently in P6 as he, where is he on track at the moment? We don't have the track map up here, but he is coming through the final corner, or coming up towards, no sorry, he's not, he's on the long back straight. I mean, he's currently been dropped down to P7 now, so someone else has just improved. Ulrich putting it up into P6 there. Only 400ths or less than that separating P6 and P7. We've got Vuzdetsky. I'm pretty sure I've said it different every time. But he's currently running in P5. Tarek Adam still on the provisional pole, looking to improve that best lap. Demarchi up by a 10th. Let's have a look further down the field. We've got Melili, who is Simmer Mello for those of you on console. He's transferred to PC now, and he is currently sitting in P10, a second up on his time as we speak. And he is currently, well, he's in his last sector now. The last sector starts towards the end of that long back straight. And this is a very, very twisty section here. A bit slower than Sector 1 or Sector 2. But COTA, a very technical track. You have to hook up all the corners together and really focus on those exits. He's coming up towards the penultimate corner now, up towards the final corner. He's 1.5 seconds off. This could be quite a good lap here from Melili. Let's see what he can do. As he rounds the final corner using all of that curb on the exit, 1.7 up, and he puts it into P2. 8 tenths off though, off of Adam, but still P2 is a good place to being at the end of this qualifying session. He's going to go for another lap here. Adam is currently 2/10 up on this lap, and he could make that gap to P2 back up to a second. He's looking to maybe get into the 204s here at COTA. It's going to be close. It's going to be very close, but looks like he had a bit of a twitch on the exit there. Coming up towards the final corner. He has lost a bit of time. It looks like he definitely could have been quicker through that final corner too, but it's almost into the 204s. Puts a 205 in, nearly a 205 flat. And let's see who else is up on their times. Doctor in P6 is 4/10 up. Matheson P9 is 5/10 up as he puts it into P8 there. Loeffler is about a 10th up. He's still got a way to go here. Johnny Marsh currently sitting in P23 is 8/10 up. Looks like a few drivers not been able to put in lap times here. Breen hasn't been able to put in a lap time. Vasala as well hasn't been able to put in a lap time. So a few drivers maybe. Yeah, I think track limits may have been an issue for some of these drivers, but it's currently Adam P1. Looks like Malili's. Actually, he might not stay in P2 here, because looks like that's Barth moving out the way there, because the 992 Ferrari is, he was over half a second up, but he's now 3/10 up, but still it's definitely possible that he can put it back into P2 here. He only needs 3/10 to put it into on the top row, and he is currently 3/10 up. Now he's in the last sector as well. Like we said before, this sector very, very twisty, and we'll go on board just for the final few corners of this lap. And you can see there on the Delta, 3/10 up at the moment. If you look on the board, no, he's invalidated. No, he has taken that curb a bit too much and invalidated there. That's a big shame for the Ferrari of Vzdetsky. There we go, I got it right again, I think. But yeah, there we have it. Adam P1, Melili P2, and Hammerboat in P3. We're back very shortly for the start of this race, so make sure to stick with us. So just waiting for the drivers to start. Well, they'll be placed on the grid very shortly. But as we saw, Adam in P1, 9/10. You can see that gap, 9/10 in front of Melili. I think he's going to run away with it in this race. Now, for those that are watching, yesterday is the same format in terms of pit stops. And it's pretty much the same throughout all our championships. I think for next season as well, we may vary things. But this at the moment is probably the best way to set up a 1 hour race. Here we go. We are lining up on the grid now. And we are going to have a quick grid walk in just a moment. But let's have a read of some of the comments now as well. We've got Jan. Jan, you're meant to be driving. Make sure you sort your setup out. But yeah, evening, Deedee evening as well. You're meant to be driving too. But we've got Lord Per-Olav showing support for Windsor, Barth, and Carl as well. Windsor is Breen currently in P29, wasn't able to set a lap. Barth is currently in P19, and Van Hoorn currently in P23. So you usually see them a bit higher up, but the competition in this championship quite high, and not going to be easy by any means. We're going to start the grid walk very soon. We've got Yanseng, yellow Ferraris, help. Yeah, there's a lot of them on the grid at the moment. P2 to P5. Ferraris in the top 10. The only odd ones out are the Porsche, McLaren, and the Aston. The rest are pretty much Ferraris in the top 10. And yeah, it is pretty much Ferrari Cup here. But yeah, it would be funny if they came out with a BOP patch in mid-season, and all Ferraris, you see them drop down the order towards the back. But no, I do think they need to be BOP'd, and I think maybe Kunos have done it just to get everyone to buy the DLC, and then they'll BOP it. It might be a bit of a marketing strategy for them. Or Ferrari have Ferrari may have dished out some funds to Kunos to put them towards the top. But yeah, I think there'll definitely be a BOP update soon, because even in the real life GT series, you've not got the Ferrari this high up, or this overpowered at least, or this quick on the track. I mean, the BMWs are up there. Mercedes is still up there as well. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. So let's get going with the grid walk. So it is Adam on pole position from South Africa, followed by Malili in P2. Some of the drivers, as you can see, don't have their flags. I believe they just haven't set it. That's why it will just come up with a blue logo. But Tamaro P3, Doctor P4, Vuzdetsky in P5, Demarchi P6, Terminen in P7. And most of these cars, you can see Ferraris. Bright pink Ferrari there from Matheson. Funky wheels, I know Lord Per-Olav is going to like that. Ulrich there in P9. Another yellow Ferrari. That's the fitted UK Motorsport driver of Hutchinson. We've got Kutcher there in P10. Brownhill in P12. Sorry, Kutcher in P11. Brownhill in P12. Pacolara in P13. Topa, another Ballas Esports driver. We had one in yesterday in P14. Matt Pryor in P15. Ramshield P16. Blanchett in P17 here. And this is taking a bit longer than expected. We might actually get towards the end of the lap before this is even over with. So I'm going to see if I can speed this up. Yeah, we are approaching the end of the lap here, the end of the formation lap. Now the drivers would have got a heat up into their tyres, brakes, the track temp 27 degrees and ambient 26, and we are actually going to finish this before the end, which is great because I had to speed that up. But back on with Adam, who may just be able to run away with this one. They should have the drivers lining up double file now as they approach the final corner. And turn 1's always tricky at COTA. So let's see what the drivers can do. It's such a wide straight here heading up to turn 1, but the exit is so narrow. And if you get onto those sausage curbs on the exit, you can see how wide it is, and you can see the elevation here. But if you get onto those sausage curbs on the exit, it's pretty much game over. You're going to be sent into the air. Although the curbs are much better, handle much better now, more realistically as well. But they still are deadly. Don't want to be going over them, over those massive sausage curbs. But let's see. We're going to be green in just a moment. And we are green. There we go. Lights are green. And Adam off to a good start. Pulls towards the racing line. He's got no one to worry about at the moment. And looks like that is Mullard still holding on to P2 there. Vzdetsky still in P5. Pressuring Hammerbow just up in front early on in this race already, and looks like everyone has made it through cleanly. We've got the number 41 car actually right at the back. No, what's happened to Ulrich? Something has happened to Ulrich. He's had some damage. You can see there on the front of his car and on the side, I think. So he's not had the best start whatsoever, but the race leader Adam has already pulled away a second to Mullard here, so he's starting to gain some time. Now onto this back straight. Now before, the Porsche would have struggled here, but now the new Porsche, well, it's not going to struggle on the straights whatsoever. You can see Mullard not even not really catching. He's outside of that slipstream range now, so he's not going to be able to catch that Porsche whatsoever. But it's Mullard followed by Doctor, then Hammerbow, then that's Vzdetsky going wide there, trying to defend his position, but he's lost that position to DeMarchi, who's up into P5 now. Matheson wasn't able to capitalise on that though. He's a bit too far back at the moment. But look at this train of Ferraris we've got at the moment. 2 minutes in P8. Kutscher putting on pressure here early on as well. We've got Lara in P10 and Brownhill, the odd one out, P11. We've got a few more cars, a few more manufacturers in the back here. We've got Brian, another Ferrari. I believe that's a tribute livery he's running, the Irish flag on his car. Barth in P13 putting on some pressure here early on in this race as well. Running for the Adweiser Racing team. I believe they don't have their livery ready just yet. Ramshield, another Porsche right behind. Looks like we've got the two Mercedes going side by side. P15, P16, Topper and Marsh. Marsh on the outside, Topper on the inside coming up towards turn 1, and looks like he's going to have that move done. Not much that Marsh can do, although he's going to try and hold it around the outside. Looks like we've got a few cars wide on the exit of turn 1 there. That is DeMarchi up another position as well. No, he was defending actually from Vzdetsky there. So they did swap. Yeah, it should be back up now, guys. Let me know if it's all okay. Apologies for that. There's been some issues with the software that we're using. I haven't been able to sort it out yet, but I'll have to have a look into it tomorrow. But we're going side by side here between Doctor and Mullard. It looks like Mullard's going to get past, and there's been contact between the two. And Mullard tags Doctor around, and he's going to drop down the order here. Not sure whose fault that was, but that might be going to the stewards after this race. But Mullard continues, doesn't think it was his fault. Of course, there's no rule for returning the position here. Look in the background, we've got a few drivers going side by side, just in front of Brownhill. That's Lara and Kutscher going side by side here, up in towards turn 1. It looks like Lara has got that move done. Oh no, sorry, Kutscher's got that move done now. In fact, yeah, he's got back ahead, has Kutscher. Lara went for the move, but Kutscher got the switch back and prioritised the exit speed. So there we go, he's back up into P9. And what a brilliant view to watch it from. We'll go back trackside here. Brownhill still in P11, started P12, so he's gained a position off the start, but he's got Pryor hunting him down here. And it's quite a lot of cars, still very, very close on track to each other. Looks like we've had the number 42 car. What's happened to the number 42 car? That's Purcell, who's facing the wrong way. He's got going once again. I don't think there seems to be any damage on that car, so I believe he's lost it himself. Yeah, I don't think there's any damage on that car. Look, we look towards Alan Breen as well, who's down in P29, 1.8 seconds off of Purcell at the moment. Ulrich making his way back through the field. Looks like Novak has, it's side by side here with Hutchinson. Novak not able to stay ahead, but he's now got Vesala on the inside. Vesala looking towards the inside, was actually complaining about his setup on the car, so doesn't really have a good setup for the Porsche at the moment. 1.9 is still very, very new to a lot of drivers, so I'm not surprised that people are still sussing things out in terms of the car, in terms of the setup. And this train still continues. It's your bad boy in P19, and no, that's not his real surname, but Johnny in P19, followed by Loffer in P20, then Bryant and Hutchinson actually battling for position. Looks like Hutchinson's got the move done, but Bryant, no, backs out of it. He would have had the inside through this left-hander, but he's let his quote-unquote teammate, both these drivers from the fitted UK motorsport team. Well, you can see the Ferrari just in front bouncing over the sausage curbs on the exit of the final corner. And we saw Vzdetsky make a mistake in qualifying over those through the last corner or over those sausage curbs, and Dimarchi still fending off Vzdetsky here, doing a great job at fending him off, and actually hasn't put in a valid lap, has Dimarchi, yet, so he's been invalidating so far. Let's hope he hasn't been picking up any track limit warnings, because we know how easy it is to do so here at COTA, and it's so easy to pick up a drive-through penalty as well. We've got Lepre in the comments showing a support for Breen, who's currently running in P29 at the moment, last place. But you can still pick up some freebies if there are any accidents or drivers start to maybe retire from the race due to unforeseen circumstances. You can see in the background that's Barth now having to defend against Topper, but I'm not sure if he'll be able to. Topper's going to have the inside for the left-hander at the end of the straight, and I think he's got enough of his car alongside to make this move stick, unless Barth is later on the brakes. They're still side by side here. Barth not backing out of it. No, he backs out of it there. Doesn't want to fight too much. You can see in the background he's got Ram Shields closing in, Marsh closing back in after his actually, no, yeah, Marsh closing in as well. It was Bryant, I believe, who spun in the yellow Ferrari. So I'm getting a bit confused with all the yellow yellow Ferraris out on track. But yeah, it was Bryant who made a mistake earlier on. But it looks like he's closing back up as well to Hutchinson and this train just up ahead. Let's see what other battles we can catch on our second camera. Well, let's see what other battles we can catch. They're all over the place. It's going to be quite difficult to see who we can look at first. But let's bring up this battle that we've got on at the moment, and let's have a look at. Oh, actually, yeah. Let's bring up this battle. I mean, you can see. That is, I believe that's Loffer on the inside coming into turn one. Hutchinson on the outside. Oh, almost contact between the two there. Hutchinson late on the brakes. Trying to go for a move here. They're still side by side. And he's trying to set this move up is Hutchinson. He's taking a slightly different line. He's got no one behind him to worry about just yet. So he can afford to take different lines here to try and set himself up for a move. But these S's... not really a place to overtake. There's not really any heavy braking zones here, and Hutchinson does have a bit of damage on that right hand side of that Ferrari. It doesn't look like it's affecting him too much, but he may be it may be otherwise for him in the car, and he looks towards the inside. Is it a dummy? No, he's going to send it down the inside there, and Loffer is going to try and hold it round the outside as they get onto the back straight. It's going to be a drag race now down towards the next corner, down towards the next braking zone. And in fact, Loffer has got a bit... No, it's not going to be enough, that slipstream. So it's just down to who's got a better exit and who's running less wing. It looks like Loffer has slotted back up ahead, and he's able to take that racing line into the next corner, but he's gone deep on the brakes, and Hutchinson is going to get back past. And now, as a result, Bryant in the other yellow Ferrari has caught back up. So it's a yellow Ferrari sandwich, although these three are all in the Ferrari at the moment. And there's been contact there. Looks like that is the Porsche of your bad boy, I think, has made contact with Van Hoorn, but he's let him through, and your bad boy onto the gravel there. That's going to lose him some positions. He has to drop down to P25 now as your bad boy. And, well, a bit of a mistake there. Very close racing between the two. I think it was inevitable. Van Hoorn's not going to be happy with that. He's going to be carrying some damage now as a result. We're still side by side once again between now that's Loffer and Bryant. So Loffer losing another position, and now Van Hoorn has got the run out of the final corner coming up towards turn one. He's got the inside line. Can he get it done on the brakes? I think he will be able to. He's got that optimal line going into turn one, and on the outside you can really squeeze. There we go. He had the line, and now with these two battling, Van Hoorn might be in a bit of trouble. Novak with a good exit. He's really caught up. Likewise has that's Ulrich back in the mix of it all. So he's back in business and trying to battle for some more positions. While this is still going on, we've got some battles towards the front of the field, which we're going to have a look at. We definitely can't miss out on this. We've got a battle going on between... Well, let's go back to our race leader, Tarek Adam, who's well, got a nearly 6-second lead to Hammerbo there. We've still got this battle going on between Demarchi and Vozdetsky, who looks like he's got the move done on Demarchi, so he's got past that McLaren just now. And we can also see, I believe that's the two Porsches, Vasala and no, it's not Vasala actually. Where's Vasala? He's dropped down the order, I think. Vasala's currently in P24. Looks like Purcell's got past Hankerson. Loffer's got past Ulrich just now. You can see there. But he's got a few cars in front of him. He has Novak in front of him. Van Hoorn in front as well. Van Hoorn, after that incident, has pulled away from those behind him. He's fended off Novak, and now I'm sure he's going to try and catch back up to Bryant and Hutchinson, but this battle still continues with Loffer trying to defend that position against Ulrich. Ulrich is carrying damage, remember, so even with that damage he's been able to put on the pressure to Loffer here. We've got another battle going on for P8. That's between Tuominen, Kutscher and Lara as well just behind. So these three all battling for position. It's all Ferraris once again. Paul Mitchell in the comments saying Breen needs to keep his head down and wait for the track limit penalties to start rolling in with the other drivers. Yeah, definitely. If you can keep it within those white lines and just keep it consistent. And like I said earlier, other drivers are going to be involved in incidents. We've already seen a couple of minor incidents. Nothing massive. We didn't see the incident with sorry, what's his name? Ulrich. But he did drop down the order. Ulrich actually started in... Where did Ulrich start? He started in P9, so he's lost 14 positions off the start. But I think apart from that, there haven't really been any other incidents, which is quite good for COTA, because we know turn 1 is infamously bad for crashes. It's a bit like Monza. I think Monza might actually be somewhat easier, because you're pretty much just going... You can pretty much just keep it double file there, even single file, but through you go to turn 1, the start-finish straight is so wide. Everyone pretty much goes 3-4 wide as it is anyways, and they have to all filter through back into at least double file, and there can be a huge bottleneck there through turn 1. slows down the rest of the field, and looks like that is Loffer wide deep on the brakes, but he's going to be able to hold on to the position. Ulrich trying to set him up for a move here, but he has to be careful. He's got that's Vesala behind him, and I believe that is your bad boy behind him as well. So your bad boy's made a bit of a comeback already, and he's going side by side there with Vesala. And looking on the left-hand side as well, that's still Tuominen leading. Tuominen leading this battle, followed by Kutcher just behind. And it looks like Lara is eyeing up a move here on Kutcher. In fact, we're going to have to try and see what's going on here. Let's go on board with Lara here. You can see they're just feathering the throttle, and Lara really opening up the corner much more to try and, a bit of oversteer there, to try and get a good run, but that hasn't worked just yet. And in fact, Lara now losing a bit of time to Kutcher and Tuominen just up ahead. They actually have caught up now to Matheson in P7. And Doctor just up ahead of them as well. Looks like we've got a bit of change of position here. That's Novak on the right hand side. In the Porsches now, a car separating Ulrich and Loffer there. But you can see this is now becoming a 4-car battle between, well, nearly a 5-car battle. But let's just say Doctor, Matheson, Tuominen, Kutcher and Lara, really. But I think Doctor might be a bit too far ahead at the moment. So P7 to P10, all battling for position now. And it's all Ferraris once again. And we've still got this battle going on the right-hand side between Loffer, Novak, and now, actually, we've got a few more cars involved. Van Hoorn is just up ahead, as you can see. Loffer just behind, Novak going extremely defensive there against Ulrich. Your bad boy just behind as well, and Vesala, and actually behind Vesala, that is another fitted UK motorsport driver. Let's see if we can find out who that is. It is Purcell. The Purcell, another one getting involved into this battle. But back onto the main screen then, let's have a closer look at what's going on here. That's Tuominen defending against Kutcher. Kutcher has been trying to get past lap after lap, but hasn't been able to find a way past. Now we've got the pit window opening in 2 minutes. The undercut could be quite strong here for Kutcher, especially since he's been struggling to get past. And they're losing time now once again to Matheson just up ahead in that bright pink Ferrari, and looks like that's Kutcher with a move down the inside, but it's not going to come off for him. Didn't work out there. He had the inside line, but just couldn't carry the speed there. It was quite a tight corner to try and carry the speed, and around the outside, Tuominen was just able to maintain that momentum onto the straight and stay ahead. Yeah, I definitely think an undercut is going to work very well here. And Adam now with the fastest lap of the race as well, a 2:05.7, leading this race here, 10 seconds to Hamrabo. That last lap was a 2:06.2, and for Hamrabo it was a 2:06.8, so he's lapping 4/10 a lap quicker at the moment. And well, 20 minutes into the race, it does make sense. They're nearly currently in P3, but he's being hunted down here by Brzdetsky. The gap between these two coming down to a second, maybe even under a second now, as they cross the line onto the start-finish straight. Kutcher still in this battle as well, and look at the amount of cars we've got going on. That battle there for, what is that, P20 pretty much. We're going to have to bring that up actually on the main screen. So let's see if we can find that battle now. It's not easy doing this by myself, but there we go. We've got all these cars. P20 is Van Hoorn, P21 Loffer, and Ulrich making a move here on Loffer down the inside through the final corner. Can he get this move done? He's going to have the inside if he can keep it ahead into turn 1, and it is a drag race now down towards turn 1. I think Loffer may have to back out of this one unless he can possibly go for a switchback, but I think Ulrich has opened up the corner enough for himself to maintain that position. You can see there Loffer trying the outside but has to back out of that, and in fact he's compromised his exit, and Novak's now got a good run but nowhere to go here. Coming up towards the S's, it's pretty much single file here. There's not really any room for overtaking, and your bad boy with a huge bit of oversteer, and has he saved it? I think he's into the wall, or has he kept it out of the wall? I think he's kept it out of the wall. Yeah, luckily he has kept it out of the wall, but that was a huge bit of oversteer there. I think he tapped the brakes, maybe the rear just came round. But he's got it going once again. We've still got this battle for P20. Van Hoorn, now Ulrich behind Loffer and P22. Novak and P23, and just behind them, it's Vesala, Purcell, and what's happened to Hankerson? Has he? He's down in P26. Is Hankerson? I don't think anything happened to him. I did see a yellow flag there, but seems to be all okay. He started P25 to Hankerson, so he's only lost one position off the start. But back to this battle we go. Looks like Doctor into the pits. We're going to get that battle up with Kutcher once again. Kutcher and Kutcher, Lara, and who else? It was Tuominen as well. This battle still going on strong. And in fact, it's not just these three now. It's more involved in this battle. So it's Brownhill involved in this battle. It looks like that's Van Hoorn into the pits, and that's a move there for P23. I think Novak was under a bit of pressure there from Vesala. He is able to hold off, and now Vesala being pressured by Purcell here. People been saying never raced here on ACC, but looks really tricky. Yeah, it's quite a tricky circuit. It's COTA. Takes a lot of learning. It's a long circuit as well. It's a long lap. Seeing 2 minutes, 2 minute 5 being the quickest. But you're talking pretty much alien laps there. 205s, 204s here at COTA. But yeah, this battle being spaced out slightly now as the drivers start to pit. Now we'll see if anyone's going to get any stop go 30s or any penalties for track limits here. We saw a bit of a mistake there from the Ferrari of Pryor, who's currently running in P11 on the back of Brown here. This is a huge train going on at the moment. We'll switch to this battle now actually, because there's so much going on. You can see just up ahead, it's still, well, it's pretty much a 6-car battle now, or maybe even 7. So leading this train, it's, well, Matheson is staying ahead, so I wouldn't say he's really involved in this battle, but it's Tuominen, followed by Kutcher, then Lara, then Pryor, then Brownhill. Actually, Brownhill's now pulled the trigger, so he's into the pits. Topa has followed him in as well. But Lara with a good run coming up towards turn 1. He's going to look for the move, but doesn't look like he's going to commit to it. So he's forced, however. Kutcher into a bit of a mistake there, but I don't think he's going to be able to get his car alongside enough on the exit. He looked towards the inside and definitely forced Kutcher into an error there. That may be his best bet to try and get past. He has to be careful. Pryor is now closed back in, or back onto these two. And he is in this battle now. And a bit of oversteer there for Lara. Looks like he's run wide as well. That's probably going to be a track limit warning. Maybe he might get let off with a no time gained. We've got had yellow flags out for Ramshield, so it looks like he's lost the car somewhere, but he's got it going once again. And Novak still in the back of Loeffler as well, P17 and P18. This battle's still going on quite strong, but they've pulled a bit of a gap to Purcell and Vesala just behind. Purcell, oh, Vesala looking for a move around the outside there, not going to work. He's really putting on the pressure here. Now we've still got the pit stops to go. Remember, a huge mistake there from Vesala, but he's caught the car just in time. But look, that one mistake cost him over 1.5 seconds in terms of time there. Hankerson now into the pits. Let's go back to this battle for P10. Adam still P1 with a 15-second lead now to Hammerbow in P2. In fact, Melili now having to defend. In fact, he's going to get past through the final corner. Vozdetsky now into P3 of this race. And Melili now not able to defend that position. Neither of these drivers is deciding to pit as well. But Melili looking for a move into turn 1. Doesn't quite go for it. He's going to stick behind and try and follow Vozdetsky through. Maybe trying to put some pressure onto him. Vozdetsky's got a bit of damage, but I think it's just superficial damage there. Just a bit of paintwork being exchanged. So nothing that he really has to worry about. We've still got this battle going on between Tuominen and Kutscher as well. These two have been battling so hard. Kutscher has got past Tuominen actually, but Tuominen, these two have been very even on pace. Tuominen's not going to let him out of his sights whatsoever. And Matt Pryor still there as well. Pryor's definitely improved from last season. Whether it's the Ferrari, I don't know. But even if it is the car, he's keeping up with the two ahead of him who are also in the same car. So he has definitely improved since we've seen him last season. Maybe it has something to do with that livery as well. And very late on the brakes there from Tuominen. That's going to leave Matt Pryor with such a good exit. And he's going to be in the slipstream now, but is it going to be enough at the end of the straight? It's not the longest straight in the world. But the slipstream, no, he's going to pull out of the slipstream. Interesting. I would have stayed in the slipstream if I were him. But yeah, it's not going to be enough. And that's Kutscher really deep on the brakes. I think we're going to be almost 3 wide. No, 2 wide. And back into single file. Kutscher holds on to the position just about. But it's brought these 3 closer once again. And let's get some nice onboards of this battle as well. So on board on the left, we've got the rear viewing camera of Kutscher. On the right, we've got Pryor's on board here as well. So head up towards the final corner, the penultimate corner, sorry. No, it is the final corner, but neither of these drivers deciding to pit just yet. The top 4 still out on track as well. They've been separated ever so slightly. We've got a battle going on for P12. That's Ryan Blanchett and Ramshield. We'll switch to that in just a moment. You can see there Pryor trying to prioritise the exit, and look how close we are between Kutscher and Tuominen, almost touching there. And can Pryor get past? It's like I said earlier, it's so difficult to go for a move through these S's. It's pretty much a single file. I mean, these aren't heavy braking zones. They'll be maybe using the brakes slightly. Most of it's just coasting as well, so yeah, there's not really any opportunity for overtakes here unless the driver in front makes a massive error. Then you'll be able to get past, but otherwise it's pretty much safe through this first sector. And it looks like Pryor has lost a bit of time as well through that first sector. We've got one of the Porsches moving out of the way. I'm not sure what Porsche that is actually. I think that may be, let's have a look, try and find what Porsche that is. I think it may be Calvo. We've actually had a retirement from the race as well, so I'm not sure who's retired. But someone has unfortunately retired from the race. This battle's still going on strong then. But let's see who's Porsche is that? I think it's Calvo. Yep, it is Calvo just behind them. Currently running in P28. Calvo started in P26, so he's only lost 2 positions off the start. And the most gained so far, well, we'll calculate the most gained after the pit stops because it doesn't make sense otherwise with drivers on different strategies. But you can just see how much better the cars are over the curbs. And Demarchi now into provisional P2, got Vozdetsky into the pits around the halfway mark, Hammerbone to the pits as well, and Kutscher following him, following in. We've got Pryor now still left out to battle with Tuominen. Now, Kutscher has pitted earlier than these two, and he was out in front. So, oh, a huge mistake there. Oh, no, there's been contact. Looks like, I think that was a bit of a huge lockup from Tuominen. And, well, Pryor was lucky not to be spun out there, but a huge lockup from Tuominen. And that caused him to spin. I think Pryor may have actually saved him now, otherwise he would have been facing the wrong way. But now that's allowed Pryor to get just up ahead. Now I was saying, Kutscher pitted early, and he was in front of these two, so whether he's done that to avoid battling and maybe get some clean air to stay ahead of these two, we don't know. But at the moment it's Pryor in front of Tuominen, and maybe these two might stay behind after the pit stops. Just have to wait and see. And we just have to wait and see what happens, and doesn't look like they're going to pit. Well, they might not pit this lap, but I think if they want to cover off, although there's nothing really to cover off because Kutscher did pit first, and actually if he's in clean air they might want to pit now. It looks like he is, so he's got the track to himself here, and he's going to be trying to put in those lap times to stay ahead, or even pull a gap to Pryor and Tuominen. But here we go, we've got a battle going on for P17. These two are battling before the pit stops. They're battling once again, Blanchett and Ramshield now, and they've actually got Bryant closing in on them behind too, so this could be a three-way battle between P17, 18 and 19. We've also got Ulrich, who served his pit stop on the back of Van Hoorn. We saw him battling with Van Hoorn earlier before the pit stop stage as well, and I don't think he was able to get past. Van Hoorn, I think, pitted quite early compared to the others. We've still got a few drivers yet to serve their mandatory pit stop. Green in P20 still has to serve his. Sala in P14 as well still has to serve his, and that's Ramshield bouncing over those curbs on the exit. Look how much time he's lost as a result, and that Ferrari of Bryant closing in even more now. We've got this battle. All these three have served the pit stops. Topper and P9, Brownhill P10, and Doctor P11. This is a great battle to see, actually. Now we've got the sun setting, actually. So we had it rising in qualifying. We've got it setting now in the race, and it does look quite stunning at the moment. But oh my god, the sun's going to be in their eyes. It's in the eyes. It's in our eyes, and I can't imagine what it's going to be like for the drivers. Yes, so many elevation changes here at COTA. So they're definitely going to get the sun in their eyes at some point. And in fact, let's go on board. It's not too bad at the moment. I think with the trackside cameras, they are a bit higher. The sun's more in our eyes, but if we go on board, it's not too bad for the drivers at this part of the circuit. You see there, Brownhill really putting on the pressure to Topar. Brownhill didn't have the best of races last time out. Well, yesterday at Spa in the Next Level Racing Championship, and he's gone deep on the brakes. He's sent it from a mile back, but he's not. Well, he's overshot the corner. And where is he now? He's actually still side by side here. Looks like Doctor is. Can he keep ahead? I don't think so. He's got the inside line, but That Aston Martin looks to be rapid on the straights here. They're almost 3 wide coming up towards the braking zone, and looks like a bit of door running between the two. Brown is trying to keep it around the outside, but Doctor just had the better line going into the corner. Now Mathewson is closing in that bright pink Ferrari. So this is pretty much a four-way battle now for P7. Now the race leader Adam has served his pit stop. We've got Pryor into the pits now as well. I believe that will be everyone. I think. Let's see, where does Pryor come out on the track in comparison? Oh, there's been contact, I think. Oh, was that contact between the two? That is Doctor down a few positions. He's been spun round. I don't think it was contact, actually. I think he may have just locked up the rears there and spun. But Matt Pryor now coming out on track. He was previously battling with Tuominen, and looks like it's going to be quite close on pit exit here. Looks like, yeah, very close, and actually Pryor doesn't have the exit speed he needs to maintain that, and Tuominen's going to get back past, so it's extremely close. And it could have been tenths in the pit stop that, or even on the in-laps, that would have determined who came out in front. But Kutscher, the 8, has come out well ahead of them. He's now in front of Doctor, actually, and Tuominen and Pryor are a bit further back, so looks like Kutscher's had a much better pit stop than these two. Let's go back to this battle, though. Topa and Brownhill looks like they are side by side now, and Topa now having to defend this position. Brownhill on a mission here, looking to get P6, goes for the dummy, forces Topa to go defensive. Now on the outside, he has the better line for the exit, and Topa deep on the brakes, and Brownhill has forced Topa into a mistake, and surely, yep, Topa gets onto the brakes there, and concedes that position to Brownhill up into P6 now. Wow, Brownhill, what a race he's had so far. Where's he started? Brownhill started in P12, he's gained 6 positions so far, and I think everyone has now served their pit stops, apart from Breen, who's serving his now. But most positions gained, let's have a look at that so far. So far, we're actually tied with a few drivers. So Topa has gained 7 positions off the start. Barth has gained, well, since the start. Barth has gained 7 positions since the start, and so has Novak. So 3 drivers tied on most positions gained in the race. Now obviously the race leader Adam wouldn't have gained any positions. He's been leading since the start. He's got a 26-second lead now to Hammerbo and Peter, and I think well, it might be a bit of a boring drive for him. I think the most action he's going to get on track is going to be the race start and getting past the traffic. But yeah, it might be a bit of a boring championship for Adam, but I'm not sure if he'll mind if he gets to win something at the end of it. Remember, this championship is sponsored by IMB Racewear, so they will receive custom sim racing gloves. Well, the winner does, and the P2 and P3 receive vouchers as well. And you see those Porsches all in sync there. They are very loud, especially compared to the last gen Porsches. They sound much better, I think, in my opinion. They're much more aggressive in how they sound. But Topa looks like he's got back past Brownhill. I didn't actually catch what happened there. We've still got this battle going on as well between Pryor and Tuominen, so we brought that up as well. We've got another battle going on down for P16 and 17. Marsh and Ramshield are just separated by a 10th, actually. Looks like Ramshield has got the move done on Marsh. So upper position he goes. Hutchinson has now got a move done on Barth. No, they're side by side, and Barth is trying to keep it in there, but he's got the outside of the corner, not where you want to be for this right-hander, unless he can go for a switchback. Doesn't look like, oh, actually he might be able to. He's forcing Hutchinson to go defensive, and he's glued to the rear bumper of that Ferrari. He's really challenging for a move here. And this is a whole new Barth, I think. I don't think we've seen, well, not a bathtub, but a whole new Jan Barth. I don't think we've seen him battling this hard in the previous season. He's really going for it this time, which is great to see. Oh, what a move there from Kutcher, sending it down the inside. I didn't realise my microphone was actually muted, but the player saying, how good does it look with the sun? It does look good. And I was just speaking with the microphone muted. But I don't think I've done that in a while. Well, I was saying, yeah, the sun, most of the track is pretty much shady, but I think in some of the corners the sun might be bad. People saying, they had a look at the onboard from John Jig, which is your bad boy currently in P22. It's not too bad at the moment, and you can see there, that looks like Ulrich side by side there with Novak. He's actually got past Novak as Ulrich. And oh, Van Horn ahead, bouncing over those exit curbs. And they're going to be side by side now. This could be Ulrich's chance to get a move done into turn one. He's got the inside line, and I think this will be it for Ulrich. Is he going to get it done? Yes, he is. Van Horn's going to try and fight back with a switchback, but it's not going to be enough. And now Novak looking for a move as well. But I think that's Ulrich now in front, and he's got a good chance to pull away. Lepre saying, let me get the sunglasses out. He won't need them just yet, I don't think. Topper now having to still defend against Doctor. We've got Pryor and Tuominen battling as well down here. Still, these two very even on pace. The last time around, Tuominen did a 209. Oh no, actually, last time around, Tuominen was quite slower. And looks like, have we lost someone? Down to, no, still 28 drives. So we haven't lost anyone yet. But Tuominen almost losing the position there, made a bit of a mistake, allowed Pryor to get alongside him, but it didn't quite work. And looking at Wozdecki, the gap to Hammerbo in P2 is 1.3 seconds. So Wozdecki on a charge here towards the final quarter of the race. And there's quite a few battles going on. So we've got these two, Tuominen and Pryor, then we've got just up ahead, Topper and Doctor as well. a section of the track that's less sunnier, a bit more shady. Like Priya saying, yeah, bad boys, yabba dabba doo. It kind of looks like that, doesn't it? That would be absolutely legendary if that was his real surname, but it's not. But we can pretend it is. We can pretend it is. We've still got this battle going on now between these two. Let's get a bit of an onboard now. From Doctor. He's actually lost time. Flash of the lights there from Doctor, so he's not happy with something that Topper's done, I think. But I didn't really see anything out of the ordinary there. You can see in the background now, that's Pryor and Domenico closing in on these two. They're only 3.5 seconds back. If they can close that gap, this is going to be a great battle for the top 10 of this race. And yeah, the sun doesn't look too bad with the onboard there that we've got from Doctor. Rob Pearl saying, how's Brian doing? He's still in last place. So we're still in P28. Now a bit of a mischief there, I think, from Topper. Look at the, he's got a poor exit out the final corner. But looking from the onboard, doesn't look like Doctor is close enough to go for a move. No, he's definitely not close enough. But they're going to turn one now. It's turn one, uphill braking. So gravity helps you slow down anyways. You don't have to brake for as long as you would if you're going on a flat surface or even downhill. But I mean, I don't think ACC does the elevation changes justice, really. It sort of seems like a bit of just a normal hill, but that climb towards turn one is absolutely huge. And the two behind now, Domenico and Pride definitely closing in. The gap's down to 2 seconds here. So they're really reeling these two in. This is definitely going to be a 4-car battle, I think, by the time we reach the last few laps. Maybe even before that. In terms of lap time, they are... Let's see. So Topper is currently running a 2:09. Pryor and Domenico 2:08. So let's get a bit of a comparison up here with the lap times. You can see Domenico is 208.2 and Topper is a 209.7. That first sector, very even between the two actually, that first sector. But sector 2 is where Topper loses 4/10, and then sector 3 is where Topper loses 9/10. So that's a lot of time lost in that last sector, and that's where Domenico and Pryor probably catching them up. It's down under 2 seconds now, and I think Pryor, now seeing this, is not really battling too much with Domenico. He's catching, well, he's working together to catch up these two in front, and that's exactly what you want to be doing at this stage in the race. If you can see 2 more cars up ahead, best thing to do, work together, catch up to them, and then the last few minutes you can really battle with each other. And you can have a good scrap for a top 10 finish. Now we've got another battle going on. Marsh and Ramshield. Ramshield was battling with Blanchette earlier on after the pit stops, and before the pit stops actually, but that gap is now nearly exceeded 4 seconds. So let's see, where are these two on track? We've actually got another battle. In fact, that gap separate opened up quite a bit. Novak and Van Hoorn are now actually battling for position. So let's see if we can find that battle on track. Yes, we can. He can bring this battle up. So Novak on the back of Van Hoorn there. This battle's still going on strong, and it looks like Pryor now challenging for a move. In fact, he's going for a move here on Tuominen. He's got it done, but Tuominen late on the brakes down the inside. He sent it over the sausage curb. Bit of contact between the two, and Pryor's going to get that move done. I think Tuominen may be getting a bit desperate, trying to go for an immediate reply back, and there's been contact. I think there's been contact between Topper and Doctor there. The Doctor's now dropped down, and this is what I was saying. They don't want to be battling this hard. When there's cars all around them, there's cars in front. There are cars in front of Pryor and Tuominen, and there's cars behind Doctor and Topper. And it looks like Topper and Pryor now going side by side. And Pryor has made up so many positions in these last this last sector. This is a great battle we've got going on. You can see in the background, look who's catching up now as well. Hutchinson in the background, but these four chopping and changing positions, and looks like Pryor's going to leave the door wide open, and he's going to lose, well, 2 positions now, and Tuominen might get back past with a great exit there. He's back up ahead of Pryor, and the Topper still, well, back ahead of this train now. So these four really chopping and changing positions, and now for the last 8 minutes, like I said, this is going to be a good scrap for the top 10 finish here. Well, now Hutchinson's involved. He's really in this battle, so it's a 5-way battle. We've got Topper P8, Tuominen P9, Pryor P10, Doctor P11, and Hutchinson P12. And is Tuominen going to look for a move? No, he backs out of that. Not these drivers are carrying a bit of damage, but he's forced Topper into... I thought he was going to force him into a mistake there, but he managed to hold on. Actually get the car slowed down just enough. Pryor looking towards the outside here, Tuominen going defensive. Pryor seems to have quite a lot more straight line speed here. He's got that slipstream as well of that Merc, and that is Hutchinson pulling towards the inside of Doctor, but doesn't have enough of a run, although he thinks about it, but backs out of that. We're going to have to get a good helicam here. Oh, there's been contact there between Topper and Tuominen. This is a proper battle here. Really hard racing between all of them. Well, I think they're getting their elbows out a bit too much here. They don't want to be ruining their race towards the end. That's going to end in tears for one of them. And looks like Hutchinson has now moved up into P10. So he's capitalized on that incident between Topper and Tuominen. Interesting helicam here. I thought it would have been a bit better than that. But you can see now Pryor is challenging Doctor for P8. Vuzdetsky still a second back, or closing in within a second to Hammerbow. So that's another battle we have to watch out for P2. But a bit of a mistake there on the exit for Doctor, and I think Pryor is going to get the job done. No, they're still side by side through the S's. This is a risky place to be side by side through, and Pryor is going to back out of that. He has to tap on the brakes there just to slot back in behind. You can see he's having to brake a lot more as Pryor. He knows he can carry a lot more speed through these S's, but he's got a car in front of him, so he has to get that car slowed down to avoid making any contact. But it's a risky move here from Pryor, opening up the door there to Hutchinson. He's trying to set himself up for the next corner, but he's opened up the door to Hutchinson, and Hutchinson's made a slight mistake now. That's going to allow Tuominen down the inside here into this left-hander. He's going to have the inside. He's going to send it on Pryor as well. Pryor's still got the better mid-corner speed. I think he's going to hold on to that, but now Tuominen's not really set himself up for the straight, trying to go for that move, because Hutchinson's going to come back at him now. And can he get it done? He's looking for the inside, stops back into the slipstream, and he's going to move back over to go for a move here. Late on the brakes there from Hutchinson, but Tuominen later there, and he manages to hold on. Now this is bringing a few more drivers involved into the battle. Topper was already involved in it, but he's, after that slight incident, He's getting back involved, and look who else. Barth is now closing in on them. Matheson down in P14. I think he may be a bit too far back at the moment, but if he continues to lap in the 209s, and well, these 5 continue to lap in the 211s, 210s, I think he will be able to catch up with just 5 minutes left to go. Not a lot of time left. And let's see if we can bring up the battle as well for P2. That battle is between Vezdetsky and Hammerbo. Hammerbo is... Where is Hammerbo on track at the moment? I'm trying to find him. Here we go, we found him. So it's Ferrari versus Ferrari once again. There we go. It looks like that is Doctor losing a position to Pryor there. And Doctor really wide on the exit, but Pryor's got the moves on into turn 1. And Pryor up into P8. I mean, what a race he's had so far. Pryor's been making moves left, right, and centre here. But, oh, looks like he's compromised. He's made a mistake there. Doctor, though, with no space on the track to go, nowhere to go to capitalise on that mistake from Pryor. Topper now, I think he's carrying a bit too much damage. He's losing some time to that group ahead. And now being pressured from Barth. That damage, you can see... He's got quite a lot on the front splitter of that AMG, so maybe it would make sense. He's struggling to get the car turned in through those S's, the twisty sections of the track. And it looks like Pryor's lost the car. No, Pryor's facing the wrong way. What has happened there to Pryor? We're going to have to get a quick replay up of that. What has happened to Pryor? Oh no, he's running so well up until then. He's running such a great race, and I think there was actually contact. Yes, there was contact. Pryor's not going to be happy with that one bit. That's such a shame there. He's running such a good race. Bring up the replay here. And yeah, Pryor's not going to be happy with that. He's now behind Matheson. She's lost heaps of time here. They're going onto the straight. This left-hander, you can see there, Pryor, yeah, his line wasn't the best there. Definitely wasn't the best. But he got tapped around in the end. I think that's going to go down towards the stewards if he puts a report in after that one. We look towards P11. Barth now we're side by side here with Topper down the start-finish straight. Is he going to get it done into turn 1? I think he's already ahead. And I'm not sure Topper can actually fight back all this position with all that damage he's got. I think his best bet is to tuck in behind Barth. And, well, he's not going to be able to catch a break now. He's got Domenico closing back in. He's got Matheson closing back in. Pryor's still not too far back in P14, but what could have been for Pryor. Pete saying Adam is flying. Yeah, he's so much quicker than the rest of the field at the moment. Looks like P21 Bryant has got past Novak here. Novak and Bryant side by side coming up towards turn 1. And yeah, Novak, oh no, Bryant with a mistake, and he's a bit of a snap there as well. And so easy to lock up in this Ferrari and get that rear end out. That's allowed Novak to continue, but a bit of a snap there from Novak as well. And what has happened then? It looks like Topper completely missed his marks. And really outbraked himself and almost got making contact there with Pryor as well. But Pryor's gained a position as a result. And Topper is just going backwards now. He is ahead of all these three. And now Pryor, well, his last chance to make up a few more positions before the end of the race. Adam still continuing this lap. I believe there is one more lap after this, so it's not the final lap just yet. But he is well ahead of the rest of the field. 36 seconds ahead of Hammerbo at the moment. That's a huge gap. And he's been absolutely faultless. I don't actually think anyone's got a drive through this race. Oh no, we do. Matheson got a drive through, so I wondered why he dropped down the order. Although he's running in P12, Bryant in P21 had a drive through. Gasala had the drive through, he's in P25. So 3 drive throughs there this race. Not as much as I expected actually. And Vzdetsky not really able to close that gap to Hammerbow. Then I don't really think that's gonna change. Demarchi now on the back of Malili in the last few moments of. Oh no, this is the last lap of the race. So Adams actually crosses the line to finish P1 here with a 35-second lead to Hammerbow. What a race from Adam there. He's flashing the lights just earlier, but a great way to open the championship for him. And Hammerbow, still a few more corners to go. Comes up towards the final corner now. He's going to finish in P2 after starting P3 in the grid. Gain 1 position, so a positive result there for Hammerbow as well, as he crosses the line to finish P2 with Vzdetsky just 1.3 seconds behind. Vzdetsky wasn't able to get close enough there to go for a move, and looks like he's happy with that result as well. Malili finishing in P4, Demarchi in P5, Brownhill in P6. Still got 1 more corner to go. There we go, across the line in P6. And a Kutcher in P7 then. Doctor is going to just fend off. Hutchinson is across the line. Doctor P8. Hutchinson P9. The finish line is quite close to the exit on the final corner, so you don't have much of a run before he crossed the finish line. Matheson P12. Topper's going to finish in P13. Pryor in P14. Blanchet in P15. Ramshield in P16. My horse is almost gone. Marsh P17. Ulrich P18. He's going to hold on to that. Bit of a slide there from Loffer through the final corner. He's going to finish in P19. Let's get rid of this. Pardon me. Let's get rid of this. And there we go. So there we have it. That was an amazing race here to open up the season. Adam finishing P1, Amrabow P2, and Vzdetsky in P3. I'm not actually sure I'm going to be able to get any interviews done today, but I mean, amazing racing for the opening round. And we'll be back live actually on Friday for what's it called, for the track day championship, and we've got nearly 50 cars competing in that championship, so that's going to be a great race, great championship. And for there we'll be at Nürburgring, actually a wet Nürburgring, so bit of a change in weather since the compared to the this race at COTA and yesterday's race at Spa. But that is it from us. We will be back live on Friday, so thanks for watching and good night.